Hello guys, welcome to my channel. 2.0.4 changes are finally out, so let's talk about them. FUFU received some nerfs, Yishuan received changes, and also our favorite panda, Panihu, also did receive some changes. And you probably can guess already what happened to the panda. I mean, it's an A rank, guys. Of course he got some nerfs. Anyways, let's start first with FUFU. I'll quickly go over her multiplier changes. Feel free to pause the screen if you want to see it in more detail, but I'll focus on our biggest change, which is the chain attack cauldron shock. The days that has been reduced. I believe this is her off-field attack, and this will overall get you to do less days accumulation on enemies. As for her basic attack changes, X special, quick assist, I think that's still gonna be okay and fine. Same with the dash attacks. I think the biggest hit out of these multiplier changes looks like it's going to be that chain attack. But also, beside these multiplier changes, there have been some other changes for FUFU as well. Her chain attack, tiger, cauldron shock. Now this move ends when she's not on field. I'm surprised it didn't work like that to begin with, but nevertheless, interesting. As for her core passive, the critical damage boost has been reduced from 40% to 20%, so you'll have 20% less critical damage boost for your entire team. Her Tiger Roar buff, the duration has been increased from 20 seconds to 30 seconds, and the impact increase from 60 to 50, so she will overall do less days accumulation than before by the looks of it. Also, the additional ability Decibel Refund has been nerfed to 250 decibels instead of 500. So basically this activated whenever you had the rapture or attack agent within the team and a teammate used the ultimate, they would get the refund of 500. Well, now it's 250. I personally think that FUFU is still gonna be perfectly fine. Now you could also, I guess, argue that she will probably be less of a good generalist as she used to be, but in this game I think all of the quote-unquote generalist options end up being good XY niche down the line as they release more characters. Now let's talk about our Panihu, our favorite panda. He did receive some nerfs as well. His multipliers, I only focused on the one that have been changed, which is his basic attack and ultimate. The ultimate days and damage has been reduced. Basically, in short, these multipliers itself, I don't think it's a big deal. It's more about his other changes, which comes from his core and additional ability. But let's go quickly over his ultimate change. The continuous HP restore, basically heal over time, has been buffed, so you will heal more. However, the core passive, which used to increase more sheer force based on his attack, has been reduced. So now you'll have the ability to go up to 550 sheer force at M0, and if you have M6, you can push it up to 720 instead of 810. Also, his additional ability damage vulnerability, the damage boost increase has been reduced from 25% to 20%. These are unfortunate nerfs because I already have a feeling that this character is probably gonna get benched very shortly after, as soon as they release a S rank supportive option for Yishuan. So I wish they kept him as he was, but I still think he's gonna be okay and still gonna be a good option, even if not the best option. Even before these changes, I think he still would not end up being the best option down the line as they release like more specialized S-rank Rapture supports. And then we also have Yishuan changes, but before I talk about her changes, I would like to let you know that a lot of you guys who watch me are not subscribed. If you'd like to support this small channel, feel free to subscribe, smile, it's completely free of charge. And now let's continue with the video. So Yishuan did receive some multiplier changes as well. Her basic attack did receive a bit of nerfs along with her X special. However, there were also some buffs within the X special, and her ultimate also got buffed. But besides these multiplier changes, there have been further changes for Yishuan. Her basic attack, Big Tai Chi Formation Energy Generation, has been reduced from 10 seconds to 7 seconds, so you will generate less energy. She uses like flash energy, whatever it's called now. As for her core ability, the flash energy restored after triggering Auric shock anomaly has been also reduced by 15 to 10, so you will be generating less flash energy by the looks of it. However, for every flash energy consumed, now you will get 0.67 points of magic value accumulated instead, which means to be able to use her secondary ultimate 1000 talismans, I guess, much earlier, which that's okay. Also, the additional ability has now 30% X special damage increase when hitting stunned enemies, and I think this is pretty powerful. Like, it's gonna boost your damage quite more. But by the looks of it, it looks like they're putting more power into Yishuan, especially with this additional ability to do more X special damage when enemies are stunned, and meanwhile kind of nerfing FUFU stuff, which is interesting because in a way then you might be less induced to get FUFU for Yishuan if she's gonna work perfectly fine with Panda and something else, which would be nice. But it's very likely, like I already said, that they will release an S rank Rapture support specifically for Yishuan down the line anyways. But there also have been further changes, such as V-Engine changes, which we'll also go over right now. So Yishuan signature V-Engine did receive a change. Now the damage dealt buff has been reduced from 12.5% to 10%. It stacks 2 times, so instead of 25%, it's going to be 20% boost, and the buff lasts 30 seconds instead of 12. I personally like this more because now you'll be able to maintain the buff relatively easily, easier for your rotations. Sure, it sucks to lose that 5% damage, but in terms of ease of use, I kind of like that. And also it does say now specifically that the same move can be triggered at most once, and the effect is unique to the wall team. So that means that now you have to do chain attack plus ultimate to get both stacks of this damage boost, because initially I thought you could do, for example, double chain attack and get double stack, but it doesn't look like to be the case anymore. I mean, at least now it's specified that that's not the case. Unfortunate. There also has been changes to A rank V engines. We'll begin first with the A rank V engine. This is a event V engine. Instead of critical rate, it provides impact 15% increase, and when team character HP is greater than or equal to 50%, damage taken is reduced by 7.5%, and miasma buildup, I think it's called miasma, subject to change on the name, is reduced by 10%, and this effect is unique to the whole team. In short, this miasma is a new gimmick mechanic in 2.0 and probably onwards in Zenless Zone Zero. It's something that can also spawn on the ground, and if your team sits in it, you will get this miasma, and this V engine would effectively allow you to kind of like get it off quicker off you, or also the enemies, like when they try to apply this to you, you would kind of have like a build-up resistance, from my understanding. Do correct me if I'm wrong about this stuff, but I don't think it's exactly the same as corrosion if you're used to that from Genshin Impact. It is a bit different. Like the miasma is actually also physically present somewhere on the map, and you have to actually like physically destroy it. But nevertheless, this is a event V engine. Panihu will probably be able to use this if you really need it against this miasma mechanics, but that's about it. There also has been a change for Rapture V engine, specifically the A rank V engines. The Battle Pass and the Craftable V engine have been swapped around. Now the new Battle Pass V engine has HP percentage 25%, and when activating Chain or Ultimate, the wearer gains 1 stack of enhancement, which will increase your shear by 80 points, stacking up to 3 layers, which lasts for 12 seconds. So this V engine is obviously really good for Yishuan, but now it's locked behind Battle Pass. And now the free craftable option has the effect whenever you activate X special attack, you get 60% critical damage boost for 12 seconds. And additionally, if the target current HP is less than 50% of its maximum, the damage dealt by X special attack is increased by 20%. So this is effectively nerf for Yishuan in Deadly Assault, but for something like Shiyu Defense or content where enemies will be actually less than 50% of their maximum HP, you will get that nice X special attack boost by 20%. An X special attack is a major DPS part component of Yishuan, so this V engine will still work for Shiyu and stuff like that, but it is unfortunate that they kind of swapped it around because the original passive was much better and more flexible, but it is what it is. Speaking of endgame content stuff, there is also some deadly assault and shield defense changes. We're gonna go over that quickly. So basically, the new boss in deadly assault has HP reduced. There of course will also be a Yishuan buff that will heavily benefit her. In short, this concentrated buff will increase her HP by 30% and the damage dealt by ultimate increased by 40%. And after using the ultimate, energy and adrenaline generation, assume this is the flash energy thingy or rage, will be also increased by 15%, and ether and ice damage increased by 40% for 20 seconds. So basically very strong buffs, and I guess you cannot really read this small picture. So here is the full version of the picture. Feel free to pause it if you want to read it in more detail. I'll go on the next one, which is going to be for shield defense. Regarding shield defense 2.0 lineup, the chambers and HP didn't change much from last time by the looks of it. However, they are doing things differently this time around. Things to note, actually there looks like will not be a wave 1 on phase 1 rotation. However, the cumulative HP wave 1 plus boss isn't increasing as much as it might look, but the new elites on wave 1 are very tanky and previous trash waves could be AoE'd away most of the time. So perhaps now we're gonna spend more on wave 1 of enemies, but also I wonder if the new boss enemy, whatever we fight, if they have like stalling mechanics where they go up in the air or something where, you know, wastes your time. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, but nevertheless, here you can see the stuff a bit in more detail, what are going to be the buffs, what are the lineups. Feel free to pause the screen if you want to read it in more detail. And lastly, we also have some Bangboo changes. I'll go over quickly this as well, I guess. This is the Bangboo for Yunkui Summit. Effectively, they buffed its damage multiplier quite significantly and the days multiplier as well, because initially, personally, I wasn't really impressed by this Bangboo, but perhaps now that it's going to do more damage, it might be more enticing to use. Also, they have reduced the cooldown reduction from 8 seconds to 4 seconds, so that means that you will not be able to spam this ability with these Bangboos before as much, but I think it's gonna be fine because they did buff the damage multiplier, so overall I think it's probably still an overall buff. As for its chain attack, I mean, not that you ever use it, they also buffed it, but yeah, these are pretty much 2.0.4 changes. If you have any questions or like to add anything yourself, feel free to write it within the comments down below. But personally, I think FUFU is gonna be alright. Same with Yishuan, and I would be more worried about the A rank than anything else. I think the S ranks will be perfectly fine. And also, just as a reminder, all of this stuff is of course subject to change. There will be definitely probably some further changes as well, and if they happen, of course I will talk about it. And yeah, I guess this is truly it. I wish you a wonderful day and see you in the next video. Ciao.